Hey guys, Katie Taylor here, and today we get to celebrate my good friend Jayma Mommy and her hitting 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. So today we are scrap lifting Jayma to basically celebrate her and her 10,000 subscribers on YouTube that she hit quite a while ago. We've just now gotten our schedules together that we could do that. And I am looking at this layout from her Instagram account, and she used the Complete Creativity to make an 8.5 by 11 Cricut cut into a 12 by 12 layout. So I'm going to do much of the same. I'm using the same Cricut cut. I am using a paper collection that is part of the President's Day sale that is happening right now on my website until I guess Monday at midnight Utah time. And here is a look at that. Now, this is the workshop kit. I always like to purchase the workshop kits because you get exclusive die cuts and paper patterns in them. It also comes with instructions. Of course, I'm going to do my own thing, but I just kind of wanted to show you what you could do if you wanted to purchase that workshop and make it as is. And then here is the sticker sheet that I'll be using for some of my embellishments as well as my title. And then here is a look at those Cricut cuts. Now, like I mentioned, it is meant to be an 8.5 by 11. So I am going to keep it 8.5 by 11, but I'm actually going to make a 2-page spread and make it 12 by 12 to fit in with the rest of my scrapbooking. And I have pulled out some photos of our sons baking cookies with my mother-in-law. And I love these photos. There's something that when our kids will look at these later in the years as they age, these photos are going to bring back the memory of that kitchen, all the love that's in that kitchen, the taste of all of her baking and her cooking. And that again is why we scrapbook, just to kind of freeze that moment in time and bring back those memories through the art of printing your photos and putting them in albums for generations to come to look at and relive. So I'm going to clear off my desk and then we can get started. This is going to come together pretty quickly, all because of the Complete Creativity Cricut collection, where everything is cut, sized, everything. I didn't change anything except double the cuts so I could make a 2-page layout. So let's get started. I am going to be using White Daisy cardstock for my bases, and I have my Versamat out. I'm just going to run a little bit of adhesive down on that Versamat to make sure that my White Daisy doesn't move in the process of adhering all these pieces of paper down. And then I am going to take a pattern from the Eat, Play, Love. Isn't that just gorgeous? And I am going to ink distress that just a little bit so it will pop. Now this collection kind of has a vintage feel, and I usually like to use toffee for that. As well as toffee is in some of the pattern papers, not necessarily the ones I'm going to be using, but again, I'm mainly using the toffee for that vintage feel. If you are new here, I love to ink distress my pieces of pattern paper and cardstock, again, just to kind of make it pop. And you can see I have that white background, and then with this light lemonade plaid pattern, it just kind of was going to blend in. So by adding toffee ink to the edges, just kind of makes that pop off my page. While I have my ink out, I like to go ahead and do all the pieces of pattern paper and cardstock just so I can go ahead and get that ink out of my way. I have been known to make a mess of ink, or ink pad, re-inkers, whatever that's left on my work surface. So it's just best if I do it once and then that is it for the ink. So I'm going to finish this piece up and then kind of get rid of all of those little pieces of sponge that you see falling. And then we can get on with the assembly. Okay, so I am using some Glacier cardstock. Close to my heart cardstock is two-sided in that you have the true color on one side and then a lighter shade on the other. So cuts like this, I love to do contrasting, but just something like as simple as this, using the same color, but because there are two shades, it really just kind of makes that chevron pattern pop. The other good thing about using this cut is now I have all of these pieces that I can use on other projects. So I am going to be using liquid adhesive on the back of this just because the pieces are kind of small, and that way it'll let me maneuver it just a little bit once I get it in place. So I am just adhering this liquid adhesive, and because the majority of this is going to have other things over it, there's really not a need to apply adhesive everywhere. So I am just going to kind of dot this here and there on the center, and then for the most part that is going to work. And again, that liquid adhesive is going to allow me to kind of maneuver this into place. Tape adhesive wouldn't have been so friendly, especially the tape adhesive that I use, because once you stick it, it's pretty much on there. Okay, so like you can see, there are still some pieces that aren't adhered down, but we are going to cover the majority of this with the photo and then another piece of pattern paper. So by using my Versamat, I was able to make sure that I had equal distance all around the edge. And now I'm going to bring in this gorgeous pattern paper. Now this paper, or this Cricut cut, kind of allows for a notebook cut, which even though this is baking, I'm really liking that because of the recipe aspect. So I am going to have this hang over just a bit. I'm going to scoot it in just a little bit, just so you can see more of that white edge. And make sure that this little hole is only on the white daisy cardstock. I don't want to split that pattern paper down there, and I did not add adhesive right here. As far as the photo goes, I'm going to have this little bitty tab up over the right edge of the photo, and then I am going to just adhere it down, kind of offset it to the right a little bit, and then maybe up a little bit, and that way my title, which is going to go under the photo, can use the majority of this gorgeous floral pattern to anchor it. So before I start embellishing layouts, I like to go ahead and make the second page first, and that way I can embellish them more like as a whole instead of on a layout by layout basis. So I'm just going to remove the adhesive from the back of this layout that I used to attach it to my Versamat. And then I am going to bring out my prepared right side and just line that up, and that is going to allow me to get the chevron piece glued down exactly at the same spot. So I am going to actually overlap this, and that will just give me just a little bit more clarity as to where this goes. And then, oops, not sure if you noticed, but see how this is top and this top are different. So before I adhere this down, I'm going to just flip this over, and then now get that adhered down. And then now I am going to add the photos. Now you'll see this kind of blank spot right here. I believe I'm going to come back in with either zip strips or stickers from the sticker sheet and see how those look on here. And so again, I'm mimicking the other side. So I want to adhere this down. Before I finish this layout off, I wanted to remind you that the creative design team, which is the whole reason why I am such good friends with Jayma, the person we're celebrating, it is reopening its membership until March 3rd. I will leave links down below to let you know how you can get exclusive content, as well as join us for our 1-year online scrapbooking weekend. That will be next weekend, February 24th through the 25th, where we'll have classes, giveaways, online live chats, Q&As, anything you want to know about the creative design team, how we became to be, or even our creative process, you can ask next weekend in our free online crop. If you recall, I told you the reason I like to buy the workshop kits is because they come with exclusive die cuts. So this is one of them. So it says sweet. Now, of course, we are making cookies. So I definitely want to either use the word sweet or baking. Then there is together. I think I'm going to pull that one. And then this one, I like just the words. So this is meant to actually overlay this one to kind of create some outlines. And I'm thinking that I just want to use the word sweet just in case. So I'm going to pop these out. And then there is a recipe card on here, as well as they were meant to be photo placeholders, but since I already have my photos, I might use them as journaling instead of the recipe card. I also like these little pennants, so I'm going to go ahead and pop out all of those. And then I'm really liking this. Now, we had that tab folder over on the left that is red, but I'm thinking I want to have something similar over on the right. And then I like these oversized leaves. So I am going to look through my letters. I think my title is going to be Baking Sweet Memories Together. So I just need the baking. I have the sweet, I have the memories, and I have the together. So B-A-K I-N-G. And then I also have some wooden, and that's why I'm using the wooden letters instead of the acrylic. I also have some wooden shapes from Eat, Play, Love. So I'm going to bring those out as well and use those in some of the little clusters. So there's one G in here. So baking sweet memories together. And let me go ahead and bring out my Eat, Play, Love shapes. You can see here that I've already colored some with some Gilt gloss spray. Now, I love this because she does have a stand-up mixer, but there is also a sticker that I think I might use. I like the little glove. And of course, probably going to use some of these hearts here and there. And then just kind of get my title down first. So you can see here that I have taken the sticker, or the adhesive off the memories part. And then I am thinking sweet. So a lot of times if you are working with a definite edge, you want to start on that edge and then just knowing that it can't go past that. Now, I'm not opposed to these letters actually being on top of the photo a little bit, because this photo has so much dead space at the bottom in his shirt. So I could do this. I could move this up a little bit. And then baking will go right here. Baking sweet memories. Next, I'm going to add the little together down here. I think I'm gonna leave it right here. And then I need to bring that wooden element down here. So I think I'm going to do that with hearts. Have maybe one right there and then one right here. And I'm just going to adhere those with some of that liquid adhesive. And then of course I'll have some wooden elements on that right layout as well. Okay, so that pretty much is the left. I may bring in, depending on how I do the right, I may bring in some additional embellishments or stickers. So now let's take a look at this right layout. You can see I've already added the photos. And then, like I mentioned, this right here, there is on the sticker sheet, there is the scalloped border right here. And I want to use that. So I'm just going to get that adhered down. Now, I am going to move it up just a little bit because I don't want any of the white to show from that lemonade plaid paper. But then right here, there was this die cut that came exclusive with the workshop kit. And I just love it. It's stitched and it's just tiny. It's avocado color. So I thought that that would just be a perfect little cap off to this right layout. It also brings over, I have so much red on this layout with that tab and that title. It also brings that red element over here as well. So I freehanded a circle and went ahead and edge distressed it. Mainly, well, not really mainly, to keep in line with the other pieces that I ink distressed, as well as kind of hide the fact that it's freehanded and it's not really perfect. So that is going to go right there. And then I am going to bring in, again, those wooden pieces. Okay, so let's take a look at both of these layouts. Again, I mentioned that these reds are carried over into the scalloped border over here. And then I have just kind of made a finite end over here with that stitched die cut. The only thing is that even though we've got some avocado leaves over here, we need some more of that green. And so I've pulled out, remember some of those die cuts I did these little pennants. So I'm thinking about maybe having those just in this top right corner and stagger them just a little bit. And then that will bring that green over. Finish off this layout, I am going to be adding strip journaling down on this page, maybe some up here and some down there, and then of course add the date. And I usually do that off camera and do not post that online, just because some of my journaling is pretty private and I don't really want everyone to know. But again, thank you so much for stopping by and watching. Remember that we are celebrating Jayma, so head over to her YouTube channel if you haven't already. Congratulate her, or you can also leave comments on our Creative Design Team Facebook page. And speaking of that, we are open right now for our Creative Design Team membership. So I'll leave links down below where you can check out how to join. Again, that group is exclusive content. So whereas we have very active YouTube channels, we tend to just do exclusive things for our members. So you will learn tips, techniques. Again, some of it will be using close to my heart product, but not always. It is meant to show you what you can do with things that you have on hand or your favorite paper crafting product. Again, thank you so much for stopping by and watching. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. And if you aren't already a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button and sign up for notifications so you won't miss another crafty video. Thanks and have a wonderful rest of your weekend.